There are messages you haven't replied to yet. Not because you forgot, but because answering them means performing. It means choosing the right tone, the right words, the right level of enthusiasm so nobody thinks something is wrong with you. And something isn't wrong with you, you're just tired. Tired of being emotionally available on demand. Tired of explaining why you're quiet. Tired of people reading into your silence like it's a problem that needs solving. Human connection, as beautiful as it is, can sometimes feel like a contract. You give energy, you receive energy, you match their mood, you manage theirs. You explain yourself, you ask questions back, you perform being okay, you perform being present. And then you go home. And your cat is sitting on the edge of the couch. Not looking at you with expectation, not asking where you've been. Not waiting for you to be in a certain mood before they decide how to treat you. They just exist near you. Maybe they get up slowly, walk across the room and press their small, warm body against your leg. Maybe they don't. Either way, there is no pressure sitting in the air, no unread emotional obligation, no invisible debt. Just the soft sound of paws on the floor at night. Just the weight of something warm and alive resting against you in the dark. Just the low, steady hum of purring in a quiet room after a day that asked too much of you. And in that moment, without knowing why, you breathe. Most people are taught, without anyone saying it directly, that love is supposed to feel like a lot, loud, consistent, emotionally full. And when love feels quiet, when it doesn't announce itself, when it doesn't demand to be noticed every hour of the day, it gets misunderstood. People call it coldness, they call it distance, they call it not caring. But that is not what you feel around your cat. What you feel is something rarer. Affection that doesn't interrogate you. Companionship that doesn't cost you anything to maintain. A kind of closeness that breathes. Your cat's love does not arrive with conditions attached. It doesn't ask you to be warmer, funnier, more talkative, or more emotionally open than you naturally are. It arrives quietly, in the way they find you specifically in a room full of options. In the way they settle beside you without needing you to acknowledge them. In the way they want nothing from you except to be near you. Nothing about that feels emotionally crowded. And for some people, that is the most honest form of love they have ever felt. Not because it is less, but because it is free. There is something specific that happens when a cat decides to trust you. It doesn't happen all at once. It is not given freely to everyone in the room. It is not performed for the sake of being likable. A cat's trust is slow. It is quiet. It is negotiated in small, unhurried moments. The first time they let you touch them without flinching. The first time they fall asleep somewhere they can still see you. The first time they choose your lap out of every other place they could be. That is not nothing, and somewhere inside you, you understand that. Because you know what it feels like to give people your trust quickly, only to have it treated carelessly. You know what it feels like to be emotionally available for someone who treated your openness like an obligation they never signed up for. You know what it feels like to love loudly in environments that did not know how to hold loud love gently. And so somewhere along the way, without really deciding to, you started to protect your energy more carefully. You started to notice the difference between people who wanted to be near you and people who wanted something from you. Cats never blur that line. They do not invade your inner world. They do not need you to manage their emotions alongside your own. They do not interpret your silence as something you owe them an explanation for. Their affection feels earned, not extracted. And for some people, that becomes the safest thing they have ever let themselves feel. Here is something nobody talks about enough. Cats are masters of existing beside you without pulling at you. You can read while they sleep near your feet. You can sit in silence while they watch the window. You can be somewhere far away in your own thoughts while they rest in the same room, entirely content. Two beings, same space, no performance required from either of you. Psychologists sometimes talk about the loneliness of being around people who constantly require your full attention. The exhaustion of conversation that leave no room for your mind to wander. The invisible pressure of always being someone's entertainment, someone's emotional anchor, someone's reason to feel okay. What you crave and have always craved is not isolation. You are not cold. You do not want to be alone. What you want is parallel presence. A relationship where closeness doesn't mean ownership, where sharing space doesn't mean surrendering your mental world. That kind of connection is rare between people, but your cat offers it effortlessly. They stay close without pulling at you. They make the room feel less empty without making it feel smaller. They give you companionship that doesn't compete with your thoughts. And for minds that rarely feel quiet, for people who carry the world around in their heads all day, that kind of peace becomes something close to necessary. So here is the truth that no one ever quite says to you. Loving cats is not about preferring animals to people. It is not shyness dressed up as a personality trait. It is not emotional unavailability looking for a label. It is something more honest than that. It is a quiet but deeply held belief that love should not cost you your peace. That closeness should not require constant performance. That the people, or beings, you allow into your private world should be able to sit inside it gently. You were never asking for less love. You were asking for love that didn't make you smaller, love that didn't leave you more tired than before, love that allowed silence to exist without turning it into a problem. And somewhere in your life, in moments or in entire chapters, the world around you made that feel like too much to ask. So your heart learned to trust quiet things. It learned to find safety in presence that doesn't demand, in affection that doesn't announce itself, in love that arrives without conditions and leaves without drama. Your cat didn't teach you what love is, but they reminded you of what love is allowed to feel like. Calm, honest, yours. If this hit home for you, please subscribe.